Newly crowned Olympic 200 meters champion Letsile Tebogo has branded Noah Lyles as arrogant and loud after he beat the American to the gold medal in a surprise at Paris 2024. Tebogo was speaking at a post-race press conference when he was asked whether he aspired to become the face of track and field athletics. He suggested that his more laid-back demeanor means he wouldn't be able to reach Lyles' levels of fame. "For me, I can't be the face of athletics because I'm not an arrogant or loud person like Noah," he said. "So I believe Noah's the face of athletics," he added.
Letsile Tebogo, he just won gold in the Olympics in the 200, and in the press conference he was asked, does he aspire to be the new face of track and field? Because he did just beat the person who pretty much is the face of track and field, Noah Lyles, and he had an interesting response, and Kenny Bernard had a little laugh at it too.
I think for me, I can't be the face of athletics because I'm not an arrogant or a loud person like Noah. So I believe Noah is the face of athletics.
The comment drew a wry smile from the USA's Kenny Bednarek, who was sitting beside Tebogo after winning silver and also coming in front of Lyles. Before the race, Lyles predicted that he would take the gold and complete a double of the 100 meters and 200 meters, adding that, "When I come off the turn, they will be depressed." "I'll be winning," he later said when asked about the race. As he came out onto the track before the race, Lyles was seen jumping around and shouting as he tried to work the crowd, similarly to how he did before the 100 meters final. The American could only labor to a bronze medal in an entertaining race that saw Botswana's Tebogo take gold in 19.46 seconds, with Lyles' compatriot Bednarek running 19.62 to Lyles' 19.70. Soon after the race, Lyles was seen in a wheelchair, and U.S. Track and Field soon revealed that he had been diagnosed with COVID-19 2 days prior to the race.
Il en fait beaucoup et c'est un coup énergétique. Oh là, s'il sort sur un fauteuil roulant, oui.
Il n'y aura pas donc de zone mixte pour l'instant pour Noah Lyles.
Petite défaillance.
I woke up early about 5 a.m. Tuesday morning, feeling really horrible. I knew it was more than being sore from the 100. My first thought was not to panic. I've been in worse situations. I've been in worse conditions, said Lyles when speaking to NBC. I took it day by day, tried to hydrate as much as possible. It would say it has taken its toll for sure, but I have never been more proud of myself coming out here and getting a bronze, he added. In an Instagram post made after the race, Lyles appeared to confirm that he wouldn't run in the 4x100 meters relay, stating, "I believe this will be the end of my 2024 Olympics. It is not the Olympics I dreamed of, but it has left me with so much joy in my heart. I hope everyone enjoyed the show." Lyles later told reporters that he'd felt lightheaded after crossing the finish. "Shortness of breath, chest pain, but after a while I could catch my breath and get my wits about me. I'm a lot better now," he said. He said he was put on as much medication as we legally could to make sure my body could keep the momentum going. Despite his symptoms, he came out with his signature energetic showmanship after his introduction. "I already had a bunch of energy," he said. "This is by far the best day I've felt out of the last 3 days. Still not 100%, but closer to 90 to 95%. He said he never considered skipping out on the race. "We quickly quarantined in a hotel nearby the Olympic Village," he said. "I still wanted to run. It was still possible. If I didn't make it to the final, that would have been the sign not to compete." He said COVID hurt his performance, but he's happy to have done as well as he did. "I'm more proud of myself than anything, coming out here to get a bronze with COVID." He said that, going into the race, his competitors didn't know he had COVID. "We were trying to keep this close to the chest. The people who knew were the medical staff, coach, my mom. We didn't want everybody going into a panic. We wanted them to be able to compete. I'm competitive. Why would you give them an edge over you?" In response, the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee and USATF swiftly enacted all necessary protocols to prioritize his health, the well-being of our team, and the safety of fellow competitors, the organization said, adding that it has been following CDC guidelines to prevent the illness's spread. "Our primary commitment is to ensure the safety of Team USA athletes while upholding their right to compete. After a thorough medical evaluation, Noah chose to compete tonight. We respect his decision and will continue to monitor his condition closely. Lyles has one final event, the men's 4x100 meters relay on Friday, but said he hasn't decided yet whether he will stay in the race. "I'm going to be very honest and transparent with the coaches, and I'll let them make the decision," he said. "No matter what happens, this 4x100 meters team can handle everything. I've been with them in practice. I know they can come out with a win, break as many records as they put their mind to." Before the crowd of 80,000 at the Stade de France, the 27-year-old was hoping to go down in sprint double history, aiming to be just the 10th man to win the 100 and 200-meter races in a single Summer Games. Only 9 men have pulled off the sprint double this before. One of those men, Jamaican Usain Bolt, did it at 3 straight Olympics. The last time an American managed the sprint double was Carl Lewis 40 years ago in 1984. After winning his 100-meter race, Lyles posted a motivational message to his social media. "I have asthma, allergies, dyslexia, ADD, anxiety, and depression," he said. "But I will tell you that what you have does not define what you can become. Why not you?"
We have to start in Paris. It's been another huge night on the track at the Stade de France that saw such a dramatic 200-metre final. Noah Lyles, the man that everyone tipped for gold in that 200-metre, the 100-metre champion, was by far the pre-race favourite. But just have a look at this shot here. This is Noah Lyles off the USA, finishing in third. Look at the distance between him and the actual winner from Botswana, Letsile Tebogo. Absolutely incredible race. Let's get more on this story, though, because there's some breaking news this evening that we have to get our heads around. We can go back to Paris again and speak to Miriam Walker. And Miriam, my goodness, how did this race play out? And tell us about the condition of Noah Lyles now.
Yeah, going into this race, Noah Lyles was a huge favourite after winning the 100 metres, and because of the fact that the 200 metres is his event. He did that long before he kind of transitioned to the 100 as well. He's got 3 world titles in the 200, and he was confident in that. He was hoping to become the first man since Usain Bolt to do the sprint double, and the first man in US history since Carl Lewis 40 years ago. And he literally bounced onto the track when they were announcing the runners at the start of the race. He looked fit, he looked healthy, he looked excited. We know he psychs out the other athletes a lot in races, but he looked very ready for that race. He got a good bend, but then he just didn't really transition off that bend into the home straight as well as we normally see him do. And like you said, it was Botswana's Letsile Tebogo who got that gold medal in a real shock of these games, I think. But after the race, we saw Noah Lyles being carried off in a wheelchair. He was wearing a mask as well at one point, talking to media. And USA Track and Field have confirmed that he had tested positive for COVID 2 days ago. This obviously isn't what Noah Lyles had planned. He has said so many times that he wants to emulate Usain Bolt and do that sprint double. And he's spoken so much about it in the lead up to this race as well. But he leaves Paris with 2 medals, one in the 100, that gold, and this bronze medal in the 200 metres. But there will be questions now over whether he should have run that race today, having known for 2 days that he's got COVID. People will ask that, and USA Track and Field have said it was his choice.
Yeah, I have a feeling that no one was going to be able to stop Noah Lyles from running that race. Now, Miriam, before I let you go, there's been some history in the field for Pakistan in the javelin.
Yeah, Pakistan just won their first ever Olympic gold medal, their first medal in athletics, but a gold medal from Pakistan's Arshad Nadeem with an Olympic record of 92 metres 97, which is incredible. He wasn't the favourite going into it. We know that he's been throwing incredibly these past few years, but a truly incredible feat, because Pakistan have only won now 11 medals at the Olympics ever, most of them in hockey. And I think this is just a moment as well, Jess, for the Pakistan and South Asian diaspora around the world, because a lot of the time we grow up as South Asian people being told we're too weak for sport, especially in football. We actually just released a documentary on Sky Sports News called Hidden Talent, where we spoke about the kind of stereotypes that South Asian athletes face. That is one that footballers hear a lot: you're too weak, you're too small. And I think having Arshad Nadeem, who is a Olympic champion now, throw that far in a javelin event, which is kind of the epitome of physical strength, is very, very exciting and something that Pakistanis all over the world will be very proud of.
Wow, what an achievement. Imagine trying to tell him, who's just thrown a javelin 92 metres, that he's too small and too weak. Absolutely incredible. Miriam, for your updates, as always. We'll see you tomorrow.
Fresh Noah Lyles' favoritism controversy stirs Paris Olympics as Team USA star reveals struggle with 200 meters finals. Just before the men's 200 meters final event, the temperature has increased. Kenny Bednarek has raised the issue of favoritism toward the host. As per him, the hosts gave Noah Lyles lane 5 to give him a technical advantage. However, Kenny himself received lane 9 at the cornermost position. The sprinter couldn't digest it. On X, he shared the issue. Never seen favoritism like this on a global scale. Meanwhile, things seem to be settled now as Kenny is in lane 8. Noah Lyles is still in lane 5. Does there come any technical superiority with the lane changes? As per the veteran athlete, there may come. One Olympic medalist put a seal on it. 3 years ago, in Tokyo, Andre de Grasse took the bronze medal in the 100 meters event. Eventually, he vented his emotion later, and surprisingly, it was not on pace, rather, he complained about his lane position. Just like Kenny Bednarek today, Andre has lane 9. I knew it was going to be a tough one after I drew lane 9. I didn't have a great semi-final, and I knew I had to come out and try and execute as best as I can. Here, the common idea says that from the cornermost position or the outside lane, from 7 to 9, the sprinters fail to see their competitors because of limited visibility. The situation can repeat itself in inside lanes, 1 and 2 as well. In those lanes, the pertaining reason is the tightest nature of the corners. So, the middle lanes rise to be the most effective ones to keep an eye on the opponents on both sides. Right now, Noah Lyles is in the middle lane, and with him, another American sprinter, Erjan Knighton, will show up in another middle lane, lane 6. Ultimately, the much-cherished 200 meters fight is expected to be limited between these two sprinters. Their performances throughout the years speak on behalf of that. Moreover, their best performances in the 200 meters event stand to be side by side, taller than the others in the pack. Apart from that, the newly enacted rules regarding lane placement prioritize the ranks of the sprinters strictly to settle at the lanes. From that perspective, the lanes for Noah Lyles, Kenny Bednarek, and Erjan Knighton may raise some uncomfortable questions. In the semi-final round, Letsile Tebogo was the topper, while Kenny Bednarek followed him. Noah comes later in the 3rd position, so, from that perspective, Kenny's positioning in lane 9 was problematic. He should have been placed in any of the lanes, 5 to 7, leaving a lane for Letsile. Yet the reality is different. Would this mistreatment boost Kenny Bednarek to go against Noah Lyles, all guns blazing?
Noah Lyles, what's the biggest difference between Noah in Tokyo and Noah in Paris?
I'd say it's definitely the joy I have in my heart. It's a lot stronger. It's not depressed, and it's ready to go. It's ready to enjoy time and energy and be in the moment here.
You're bringing us joy. How much are you enjoying that rivalry with Jamaica?
Hey, I'm here for anybody who wants to take the crown. Now that's what I'm all about, competitors and competing at the highest level.
Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Noah Lyles' controversial 100 meters gold medal race at the 2024 Paris Olympics came down to a photo finish, with Lyles narrowly edging out Jamaica's Keshane Thompson by a mere 0.005 seconds. The slow-motion replay showed Lyles' torso crossing the finish line just ahead of Thompson's, securing the American sprinter his first Olympic 100 meters title. While some argued the margin was too close to call, the rules clearly state that the torso, not the head or limbs, determines the winner in a photo finish.
Usain Bolt said that he knows what you need to do to break the world record, and he's not going to say it. I'm sure you saw that. Did you and your coach look at that, or you already know what you need to do yourself?
I'm gonna do what I'm doing. If he knows and he's not gonna share it, why would I listen?
And Kenny's world lead last week, he says it's going to last just for a couple of weeks.
I'm sorry, what?
Kenny's world lead in this 100 last week, he says it's going to last just for a couple of weeks till you go on the track.
Until New York. New York Grand Prix.
You have any time fixed in your mind?
World lead.
Okay.
That's all that's needed. What did I run last time I opened up?
Well, fair enough.
And what did I run the time before that?
Fair enough.
And what did I run the time before that? All right, then.
one more. From Bahamas, you talked about them keeping the group together. You, Kenny, Harry King.
Yeah.
I mean, now you just talked about how good Christian Freddie is now. I mean, obviously it's going to boil down to the national trials and how fast you guys go on the line. Are you still adamant that you should keep the group together, or, I mean, make some tweak based on how fast the other guys coming?
I was just looking that Jamaica is, making a push to try and keep as many people as possible as wild cards, and I think that's a great idea because they did form some type of chemistry. Even if not a lot, it's some, and that's better than none. And we as Americans, there's so many of us that are so good, you never know who's going to be on the team. So having some people that's on the team that are going to be wild cards that were on that Bahamas team, I think is very important because they have some type of chemistry.
The lane placement controversy at the Paris Olympics sparked heated debates about fairness and favoritism. Kenny Bednarek expressed his frustration on Twitter, stating he had never seen favoritism like this on a global scale after being placed in lane 9, while Noah Lyles was assigned the more favorable lane 5. Bednarek's sentiment was echoed by Andre de Grasse, who, after winning 100 meters bronze from lane 9 in Tokyo, admitted that the outside lane made it a tough one due to the challenges of limited visibility of competitors. The controversy highlighted the significant impact lane placement can have on a sprinter's performance and called into question the transparency of the assignment process. The highly anticipated 200 meters showdown between Noah Lyles and Erriyon Knighton took center stage at the Paris Olympics. The rivalry, which had been brewing for years, reached its climax as the two American sprinters faced off in the final. Lyles, the reigning world record holder with a blistering time of 19.31 seconds set in 2022, was the clear favorite. However, Knighton's raw talent and rapid improvement over the years made him a formidable challenger. The fact that both sprinters were assigned favorable middle lanes, with Lyles in lane 5 and Knighton in lane 6, only added to the excitement and speculation surrounding the race. The 200 meters final lived up to the hype, with Lyles and Knighton pushing each other to their limits.
No Olympic champion. The thing is that you embrace pressure so very well and come out on top. Is there a newfound respect that should be towards you?
No. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I'm not gonna hate anybody that doesn't like me. But all I'm gonna say is, don't downplay other people just because you don't like someone. Just go to the guy you like. But I appreciate anybody who has found respect for me. But to be honest, this crowd was amazing. This field was amazing. This is the exact field that I wanted to show up at an Olympic final. Because if I was to lose to, any of those guys in the top 3, I would have said, that's well deserved.
Talk to me about the race though and how close it was and the time, a personal best.
Yeah, it was a very close race. I'm glad I had Oblique Seville next to me because I was like, I need somebody to put that pressure on me early. I know that in a lot of races he's been like 1 or 2 lanes away from me, and he's been able to get out just in that the acceleration phase, and I've just been missing it. And I was like, nah, now that you're right next to me, I'm gonna make sure that I cover that. And then after I passed him, I saw Kashane out there, and I was like, just do what I do, hit my top end speed, let it work. And to be honest, I didn't know if I had it. I leaned, but I didn't know I had it. Me and Kashane were at the end waiting for our names to come up, and I came up and I said, I'm gonna be honest, man, I think you got that one. Yeah, but my name came up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm amazing.
And you are. What do you take away from this in terms of your legacy? How do you describe it in this moment?
In this moment, I've waited a long time. I've seen Jamaicans dominate the 100 and the 200 for so long, and I remember growing up saying, when it's my turn, I'm gonna make sure that the U.S. is on top. And here it is. Here's my time and my journey, my moment, and it's such a beautiful thing to see.
Enjoy the moment, brother.
I thank you.
The victory was especially sweet for Lyles, who had faced criticism and doubts after his disappointing 100 performance earlier in the games. Meanwhile, Kenny Bednarek, who had been vocal about the perceived favoritism towards Lyles, finished a distant third, unable to match the top two's blistering pace. The result further fueled the debate surrounding lane placement and its impact on race outcomes. Being an outspoken character, Noah Lyles acts like a double-edged sword. He can build and also knows how to decimate things. After claiming the gold medal in the men's 100 meters, the 27-year-old sat down in the press conference sharing tidbits on the upcoming heavy battle on track. He started by praising Kenny and making big revelations about him. He said, "Kenny definitely put up a fast time at trials, and that definitely woke me up. I was very proud of him, and he is definitely not going to take how he did here in the 100 lying down." The reigning world champion said that his compatriot would shake all the dust from the 100 meters Olympic final and embrace the 200 meters track like nothing else. But he might face a collision. Speaking on his chance, the Olympic champion conceded, "None of them is winning. When I come off the turn, they will be depressed." Now, Kenny Bednarek's tag on him being the favorite might add a few more chapters to the rivalry. Let's wait for tomorrow. Olympian Noah Lyles may be the fastest man in the world, but with his girlfriend, Jamaican athlete Letsile Bromfield, he took his time. The couple met in 2017 through social media, and after months of talking, they met up in person. However, things didn't go quite as well during their first date, and the two decided to stay friends rather than pursue anything more. "Whenever I get in a relationship, I'm very serious," Lyles explained during an interview on the Fast Lane Lifestyle podcast. After that failed first date, the pair remained in touch. In 2022, Lyles decided to give romance another shot and asked her out again. Since then, they've become inseparable. "We're going to grow old together, and it's going to be forever," he remarked on the Fast Lane Lifestyle podcast. As of now, they're not only living together in Florida, but they also trained for the Olympics with one another. Although they keep things professional on the track, they have plenty of public displays of affection on social media. In April 2024, Bromfield even shared the latest romantic gesture from Lyles, a car. She posted a video of Lyles unveiling a brand new Hyundai Genesis on Instagram with the caption, "First car. Paperwork took so long my excitement ran out. Thank you, baby." During a 2024 press conference, he wore a Jamaican-inspired Adidas kit, a fashion statement he credited to his girlfriend. He also expressed his own love of the country, telling reporters, "When you go to Jamaica, you're treated like a freaking rock star." Letsile Bromfield of Team Jamaica competes during the women's 400 meter round 1 heats on day 6 of the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games at Alexander Stadium on August 3, 2022 in Birmingham, England. David Ramos Getty. Like Lyles, Bromfield is an Olympic-level track and field athlete with plenty of awards to her name. She's also a sprinter, while Lyles primarily competes in the 100 and 200 meters. Bromfield specializes in the 400, and during the 2020 Summer Olympics, she even won a bronze medal, just like her beau. The couple will also have a chance to compete alongside each other at the 2024 Summer Games in Paris. Lyles will be competing in the men's 100 meters and 200 meters, while Bromfield will be representing Jamaica in the women's 400 meter relay and the women's 400 meters. After Bromfield secured her spot on the Olympic team, Lyles was quick to congratulate her on X, formerly known as Twitter, writing, "That's what I'm talking about. Letsile Bromfield is going to the Olympics in the 400 meters." Track's biggest power couple is going on 2 years together. The pair, who started dating in summer of 2022, went Instagram official a few months later in December. Bromfield accompanied Lyles to the USATF Night of Legends celebration, where he took home the Male Athlete of the Year award. The next day, both shared images of their red carpet date night on social media. During a joint interview on the Fast Lane Lifestyle podcast, the couple spoke candidly about their relationship, saying Bromfield initially reached out to Lyles via social media. "I slid in the DMs," she admitted, laughing. "In 2017, she slides in my DMs and we started chit-chatting a little," Lyles then shared, adding that at first, he was very defensive and had his guard up. He went on to describe how their relationship unfolded over the next few months as they spoke more often and even played iPhone games together. The following year, they finally met up in person, but surprisingly, he said, they just didn't click on that first date. "It didn't click at all," Bromfield added with a laugh. "It was like, no, let's just be friends." They maintained a friendship and a flirtation for several years, and they didn't talk much while in other relationships. Eventually, in 2022, They reconnected when Lyles reached out to ask Bromfield if she wanted to get together and give it another shot. For their second date, nearly 5 years after they first met, the pair went out for sushi, where Lyles taught her how to use chopsticks. Lyles has been extremely open about his own mental health, sharing his use of antidepressants in 2020 and the impact it had on his training. "Just because I'm struggling doesn't mean that I'm going to quit," the athlete told People. "I'm a human being. I'm not a superhero. I have feelings. I have emotions."
I'm a fighter. That's how I made it this far. In fact, just because I'm struggling doesn't mean that I'm gonna quit. I'm very adamant that I don't believe in really giving up or failing is not succeeding. It's when you have completely stopped and give it up and not give it your. Me and my brother have basically. He's about a year and 4 days younger than me, so there's not a day that I don't remember him being there. So we've been together forever, and we went on this journey of making the Olympic team together. We were planning to go and make it in 2016. I got fourth. Unfortunately, he got injured in that year, and then we came into 2021, and he only made it to the semifinals, and I was able to make the team this time. But especially with not being able to have family at the Olympics, it's been very hard. I was just on the phone with my mom as I was rushing to get ready to come over here, and she has at least called me like 3 times a day, which is only one more than she normally calls me. But the fact that I'm in a 13-hour time difference means that she's calling me more in less time. And I'm just like, you must really miss me for somebody who keeps calling me. And she's like, I do miss you. And I'm just like, Mom, we've been apart for like months before. We did go through COVID. It's like, yeah, but you didn't win a medal from that time. And I was just like, yeah, that's true. So I know that, I miss sharing moments with them, especially right now, which is probably one of the bigger moments of my life. And I know they miss me too. So it's definitely something that you want to share a moment like this, have somebody to attach to and be like, we did this, we've been through the journey together, and it sucks that they're not here. It definitely is a moment where a lot of people can look back and say, oh, these athletes actually have feelings. Because I've been very vocal of, I'm a human being. I'm not a superhero. I'm not, a mutant. I have feelings. I have emotions. Just because I go out there and run fast doesn't mean that I don't come home and hurt and, get tired and want to go have fun, stuff like that. A lot of people will see athletes as put them on this humongous pedestal because they think just because it's something that they can't do that, it's something that nobody can do, and that's not the truth. In all actuality, we all have gifts and abilities, and it's just we found our ability and we honed and really worked at it. But anybody can do that. Finding your gift and honing it and putting all into it, you can do that. And of course, sometimes some gifts are praised more than others, but that doesn't mean it's less important.
His advocacy has had a major impact on his fans, as well as his girlfriend. "I started therapy about 2 years ago because my boyfriend is big on therapy and felt I needed it," Bromfield said in an interview with The Inside Lane. "It's been really helpful because I've been dealing with survivor's guilt, which was weighing on me. Now, I feel like I can live my life fully and enjoy every moment because life is short."
Janelle, I saw what that meant to you, but I need you to tell us what that meant to you. Oh, gosh.
Oh, my. Honestly, it means a lot because it feels as if a burden has lifted off my shoulder. Like for the past couple of years, it's been very hard mentally because I have a lot of loss in my family, and I'm just recovering and, running track with love again that I know I have for the sports because I've been doing it since I've been 8 years old. It's brought me so far, and I'm just grateful to be here.
What's the one thing you're proud of yourself for executing in that race?
Oh, God. In that race, I'm just proud that I ran my own race. because I could have gone with the whole field, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to sit back and just wait for that 100-meter kick. And that is where I know I trusted myself, because I'm from an 800 and 1500 background. So I'm like, if all those girls can finish strong, I can finish stronger.
You've been experiencing a lot of loss in your family, and you've been able to come out on the track and give us your all. That's incredible. I really hope that you're proud of yourself for that bit alone, because that's not easy.
No.
That's not easy. What have you been doing in terms of self-care, in terms of looking after yourself and showing yourself love?
Okay, so I started therapy like 2 years ago because my boyfriend is big on therapy and he felt as if I needed it too. And it honestly has helped a lot because I feel as if I've been suffering with survivor's guilt and it was basically laying on my shoulders. So now I'm like, you know, I gotta live my life and just enjoy every moment of it because life is short. Oh, I want to big up my family. Like my sister took a bus all the way to Kingston to see me. Like last night she couldn't even go back home because there wasn't any bus going to the country. I want to big up my boyfriend. I want to big up his mom because, you know, when I went to Florida I wasn't driving and she took me to training and back every day and it was like 40 minutes. So that's a support that I'm extremely grateful for.
Along with his influence on mental health care, Bromfield told the Inside Lane that her relationship with Lyles gave her a stronger support system. In particular, she opened up about her close bond with his family, specifically his mom, Keisha Kane. I want to give a big shout out to my boyfriend and his mom because when I went to Florida, I wasn't driving, and she took me to training and back every day, which was like 40 minutes, she said. That's a support that I'm extremely grateful for. At some point after the pair started dating, Bromfield moved to Florida to join a track and field training group. Instead of cohabiting with Lyles, though, she initially lived with his mom, she explained on the Fast Lane Lifestyle podcast. His mom was like, "You can't live by yourself, you've got to come and live with us." So I lived there, and she took me to practice every single morning and picked me up, she said. She now lives with me, Lyles added. My sister, my mom, my pops, they were heartbroken. Although the two Olympic sprinters are in the same training group now, they keep their romantic life and their running life separate. Even before we started dating, we had a very good balance, Lyles told Fast Lane Lifestyle podcast. We'd show up to quite a few track meets that we were both at, and we weren't dating at the time. But nobody would know that we knew each other, he said. We had our own mindset and our own headspace. Their relationship may have changed, but that boundary has remained the same. She won't even let me call her baby at practice, he said. Off the track, they unwind in a playful way. We love to dance and we love to dance together, Lyles said. That's one of our main hobbies. He's even shared some of their dance moves on social media. He explained that while he prefers to talk about conflicts right away, Bromfield typically needs some time and space to clear her head. Although they've learned to adapt to one another, they also accept one another for exactly who they are. When we became friends, I told him that I liked him because of his brutal honesty, Bromfield said on the Fast Lane Lifestyle podcast. That's what drew me to him. As for Lyles, being understood and accepted for his blunt honesty was what sealed the deal. Hearing stuff like that, I was like, oh my gosh, I need this woman in my life, he said. I already liked you, but that's a solidified answer of like, okay, we're going to grow old together, and it's going to be forever, and it's going to be constant, he shared. Hearing things like that is like, yeah, I'd want a woman like that to raise my kids.